here's what you need to know, and I'm no expert in economics or anything like that, so, but philosophically, just the basics, because a lot of times, the more you complicate things, the less you actually understand it. So I'll just give you the basics. Here's the way the stock market works. Companies give shares of their company, and they sell them for a certain price, and people are able to buy those up, and the more the company increases the size and the scope, the more the stocks raise up. It's just kind of the way it goes. But generally, the stock market has to be one of the most cleverly and complicatedly contrived inventions of people in power and the uber rich to gain even more power and wealth at expense of the little guy. Now, just hold on a second. You got to go deeper with this. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, here's the way that it goes. Let's say if I buy, let's say there's some stocks. I buy $1,000 worth of stocks in, I don't know, in David's company. Let's say it's my company. Just named after me. The more the stock goes up, let's say if it goes up 50% in one day, that's a tremendous gain. So what does my investment go up? Well, it goes up $500. It goes up 50% of the base that I put in. Okay, so I made a pretty good killing for most people. In one day in the stock market, I made $500. But what about the people who invest, let's say they have $10 million. Just do the math. In one day, they've made $5 million in the market. Not doing anything, mind you. They're not doing anything. They just made $5 million doing the exact same thing you did, and you made $500. Isn't that funny? This is how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Because theirs just went up at a much higher exponential rate compared to what yours went up. Not only that, but companies pay dividends for each stock that you own. So, for example, if I own a stock, for each stock I get a little bit of money each year based on how many stocks I own. The company actually pays you money just to carry stock with them. So let's say I have one stock and I earn, let's say I earn $1 off of that stock each year just by owning it. That's it. Just by owning it. Well, what if I have not just one share, but like I said earlier, what if I have 1 million shares? Well, in 1 year, not by doing anything, just by owning the stock, okay, I make $1 million. I haven't actually done anything. So do you see how the people who are uber rich, they make literally millions of dollars not doing anything. Whereas you make maybe, you can make a few bucks here and there off dividends. They make thousands, tens of thousands of dollars off of these dividends. They're not doing anything with them. You know, it's kind of like, this is the way our society works, and it's phenomenal that it's basically that they make the little guy feel as though they're part of the game, and the way they pitch it to you is, so you can own because you don't own anything. You can own a part of this stock. You can actually own a part of a company. Isn't that so wonderful? And the little people are like, yeah, that's so awesome. I get to own part of a company, and I can make money if I invest it right, and I have to make these guesses and so on and so forth. But for the big guys, they're not only buying way more of the stocks, but they are much more in the know. And they engage in insider trading and stuff like that, and they know when the stocks are going to rise and when they're not going to rise. And so what they do is they just play the system. And they make millions of dollars, whereas you could lose money, make barely anything at all, and they're making millions at the exact same time, doing the exact same thing you are. And at some point you just wonder, when is enough enough? It's like an online video game or computer game, like World of Warcraft or EverQuest, back years ago. It's at a certain point you can't level up anymore. You just keep playing just to keep killing stuff or getting more gold in this fake reality. And so it's eventually you get up to level 1,000 and there's no levels left that you can go up, but you just keep playing it anyway. Why? Because you feel dominant and you can do whatever you want and you can go around killing all these fake animals and things like that, except they're doing it in real life. And in real life it actually has real consequences. Okay? And even now, the biggest investment firms, just go look this up. I'm not saying anything that isn't now public knowledge. A lot of the biggest companies, they run these huge supercomputers. Like, think of Watson, the computer that was on Jeopardy. Okay, they run these huge supercomputers that they've programmed into them these certain algorithms. Okay, that basically says this type of stock, based on the history, moves up based on these other factors, and it goes up and down at a certain rate, and they program this into the computer so that they can make thousands and millions of trades in the blink of an eye. The computer just runs it. So they're literally just racking up money. Over the course of just minutes, they're racking up thousands of dollars. Well, I'm sorry, I don't have a supercomputer. And even if I did, that's not really fair. It's not right. There's a lot of people that suffer, and there's a lot of people, there's kids that go without food. And it's not their fault, it's their parents' fault. But does that mean that I should just not think about that? No, that's absurd. That's not how a good society runs. But this is how our society runs. If there's anything you need to know about the stock market and our society, it's the most cleverly contrived way that people with money and power have ever created in order to gain more money and power at the expense of the rest of the population, while at the same time making them feel like they're a part of the game.